Welcome back, everyone. Jake here. Currently, we're on day 8 of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and I'm ready to declare that Russia can no longer win this war. All of their military objectives they've failed to achieve in the first week. And we're going to talk about why Russia can no longer win this war. All they can do is kill more people and destroy more buildings. So their objectives, once again, they had about 7 days tops to pull off this secret invasion, but they needed the government in Kyiv to either go into exile or be assassinated or arrested. They had to gain control of the major cities, Kyiv, Kharkiv, Mariupol, and Odessa, and they needed the Ukrainian military to stand down, to surrender, stop fighting. None of those things have happened. This is spiraling out of control, and I don't think Russia prepared for or budgeted or planned for a conflict lasting longer than 7 days. So in this video, I want to talk to you how this is going to be absolutely devastating for the Russian people. And we're going to talk about the Ukraine-Russia conflict through the lens that this is the first real military conflict being fought through social media. Anything that's happening in this country is being filmed on smartphones and immediately sent to and broadcast over the internet. So let's start with this fun one. This is a TIK Toker showing people how to drive abandoned Russian APCs. These are armored personnel carriers.
Если вдруг вам попадется свободный или брошенный БТР, то сохраняй лайфхак, как его завести. Включаем массу, оба генератора. Теперь втыкаем обогатитель. Опа. Следующий у нас стартер. Все, завелся. Предохранители. 1, 2, 3, 4. А теперь фары и обдув стекла. Нажимаем сцепление. О! И включаем первую скорость.
So that's pretty cute, but there are lots of reports that Russians are abandoning their vehicles. So tanks, APCs, trucks. And there's some controversy with this video because it went viral because this TikToker who is Russian actually filmed it a year ago, but then added this intro saying, if you happen to find an abandoned Russian APC, this is how you operate it, and then it was re-uploaded. But this is now a death by 1,000 cuts. Anybody who wants to resist this Russian invasion or the Russian power structure can get on social media and participate. I personally am doing it by making these YouTube videos. You personally can contribute by liking, commenting, sharing. Anything that you do to engage over the internet is helping resist this Russian invasion of Ukraine. So everybody in the globe who wants to can participate. This is something that we've never been able to do prior to major military conflicts. Second, everything that gets out on the internet, these images are never going away, guys. You can never unsee what you see, and Russians are committing war crimes. They're targeting civilian buildings, apartment complexes, they've hit schools, they've hit hospitals. This is the main government building in Kharkiv, and the Russian Air Force, for whatever reason, decided to target this. If Ukrainians weren't willing to fight and die for their country, seeing images such as this is only going to galvanize them to continue fighting. By Russia targeting their civilian centers and killing women and children, they've already lost the hearts and minds of the people. Whatever propaganda they were putting out, that they would be welcomed as liberators, this is impossible now because of what they are doing. Additionally, they know they're losing the propaganda battle, so Russia blew up Kyiv's TV tower. So they knocked out all of the TV transmitters. So once again, the government in Kyiv can no longer communicate with their people through television. Additionally, for whatever reason, they bombed a Holocaust memorial. So this whole argument that they need to denazify the government in Ukraine, it doesn't really help your arguments when you bomb a Holocaust memorial. Additionally, guys, for videos and pictures getting back to people in Russia, you can see it. You can see it everywhere. You can see it. There's countless videos exactly like this one going up on the internet.
Раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь, восемь, девять, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Есть! Есть, блядь! Два! Два! Два!
So this is 2 Russian helicopters that just got shot down. Guys, this water is freezing. Those soldiers 100% are dead. These are very disturbing pictures, disturbing images. But this is what the Russian people have to see. They have to question their government. Why? Why are we invading Ukraine? Here's another video.
Мразь, нахуй. Что там, мразь? Опа. Опа, опа.
На Саги, ебать!
На Саги падай вверх!
Ёбаный в рот!
Бля.
So that's a Russian Mi-24 attack helicopter. It's crashing to the ground. Those Russian soldiers are dead. Additionally, lots of videos here. This one is interesting because it's just this cranky old guy walking through his small town after these Russian tanks were destroyed, and he's pissed. He's pissed that his road is destroyed and it's right outside his house. He's a grumpy old man.
Оце їхня техніка вся. Що вам, сука, всім в аду горить? Это все вот возле моего дома. Это вся улица Вокзальная.
All of this on Vaskalanya Street. Once again, just think about if you lived in a small, sleepy town and all of a sudden Russian tanks just got blown up in front of your house. So I want to say that NATO and the European Union are now being aggressive, flooding arms and supplies into the country. We can go ahead and be honest that prior to this Russian invasion, perhaps Europe, perhaps NATO could have done more to prepare the Ukrainians or to help the Ukrainians. But I think there was a serious concern that the Ukrainians wouldn't fight back. If we had supplied all of this arms and munition and technology to the Ukrainians, and then as soon as Russia rolled in, they immediately conceded, then Russia would have gained control of all of the shipments, arms, and supplies that we gave to Ukraine. But now that we have confirmed that Ukraine is ready to fight, these people are ready to fight to the death to defend their country, then sky's the limit here, guys. As far as supplies that we could give to the Ukrainians, they're pouring across the Polish border, the Romanian border right now, flooding into the country. And the number one thing that Ukrainians need are anti-tank and anti-plane missile systems. So what are these? It's the FIM-92 Stinger. This is an infrared homing surface-to-air missile, and all you got to do is point it in the direction of a helicopter or a plane, and it will blow up that helicopter or plane. The other one is the FGM-148 Javelin missile. Once again, all you got to do is get close to a truck or a tank, point it at it, and these are one and done. So these are shoulder mounts. You can hide them in the woods if you want, and then ambush a Russian convoy. You can train someone how to use this in 30 minutes. And once again, it's one and done. As soon as you fire it, drop it on the ground, get out of there. So there are thousands of these anti-tank, anti-plane missile systems flowing into the country right now, and they need to make it to the east. Additionally, now on social media, you can now find dozens of videos of Russian soldiers who have been captured or surrendered themselves being interrogated. So under the Geneva Convention, this is how I was trained. I'm a former Air Force officer. If you are a POW and you are captured, you are required to give your name, your units, so that you can be properly identified as a POW, but you don't have to reveal any other information. Obviously, it's a war crime to torture people, but Ukrainian forces are interrogating these people, just trying to understand, do you know why you're here? Why did you come here? For what purpose? Who sent you? We came here because of the military exercises. That's what the government told them in anticipation for this sneak secret invasion. But we were lied to, and so now we're here in the country.
Та же часть изначально говорили, что прибыли на учения. В итоге, когда уже закинули на передовую.
So they were lied to by their Russian leadership, and as a result, when we were already thrown into the front line, people were demoralized.
Люди все были деморализованы, и никто не хотел идти. Но сказали, будете врагами народа. Так это военное время.
They were told by their leadership, you will be enemies of the people, and since this is now wartime, you can even be shot if you do not fight the Ukrainians.
Вообще можете быть расстрелянными. Нас стали закидывать как пушечное мясо. Это иллюзия.
And they began using us like cannon fodder, though all the people, at least from our units, do not want war. The people who are being forced to fight by Vladimir Putin do not want this war, according to these soldiers. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that the performance of the Russian ground forces have been terrible. These men are entirely demoralized, poorly trained, poorly equipped. They were not given more than a week's worth of fuel and food to get through this invasion. They weren't given any proper intelligence briefings of what kind of resistance they would be expecting, and they were never given a reason. Why are they here? Why are they invading this sovereign nation? Why are they invading a country who shares a history and a culture, a religion, a similar language? These Russian soldiers are completely confused and demoralized.
And those tanks were deployed against peaceful population. Did you plan to use them to defend against peaceful population in Kyiv?
So here's another interview of a Russian soldier. In this one, I actually think they should be blurring the faces and concealing the names so that the family members of these soldiers are not arrested, tortured, or even murdered by Vladimir Putin. But in this YouTube video, he is, his name tag is right here, so his face is showing, he's being identified.
Against whom you were planning to defend? I don't know. So you got here, were you mistreated? Have you been beaten? Did they broke your bones? No. So why did you came to us? I was sent. Have you considered to refuse? No.
So once again, these interviews are heartbreaking for these Russian soldiers because they're completely demoralized. They're cold, they're tired, they're probably hungry, they probably have some health concerns. Here's a video of Ukrainians who captured Russian supplies, and they're opening Russian MREs. This is the food, probably exclusively, that Russian soldiers have now been eating for weeks on this exercise. So what this Ukrainian soldier is explaining is date of manufacture, October 4th, 2013. This food was packaged 9 years ago, and here's the expiration date. This food expired October 2nd, 2015. So all of these Russian soldiers are being forced to eat food that was manufactured in MREs 9 years ago, and according to the label, expired 7 years ago. If you had only been eating this food exclusively while on this exercise for weeks, guys, I mean, my digestive system is a little touchy, and, when you look at these armored convoys stretching for miles and miles, there's no rest stops, there's no bathrooms. Where the heck are these guys relieving themselves? This is degrading, it's demoralizing. These are not hardened soldiers ready to lay siege to Ukraine's major cities. So it's just very bizarre. Here's a really funny article about this idiot in Belarus. He's the dictator of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko. He's actually the longest serving dictator in Europe, as he took control of the country after the collapse of the Soviet Union 30 years ago. And to calm his people, because he's the only military ally of Russia, he had this televised conference with his cabinet or his advisors, and he showed Russia's entire invasion plan. He had it all on a big map as he was trying to calm and comfort his people. So he's showing exactly what Russia's entire invasion strategy was, where they're coming from. And he revealed that Russia is planning on invading Moldova next. So the plan, that obviously Western intelligence had the whole time, was once the Russian Navy or the Southern forces coming out of Crimea captured the city of Odessa, they were immediately going to move into the disputed area of the border, Transnistria, and then just go ahead and take Moldova. If the West couldn't stop the Russian forces from taking Ukraine, they were immediately, next day, 48 hours, going to just take Moldova, once again trying to reconstitute the Soviet Empire. It's getting so bad for Russia's economy, guys. Even Switzerland has put sanctions on Russia and the Russian oligarchs. Switzerland is famous for always maintaining neutrality and protecting people's assets and their banks. Think about Switzerland during World War II, looking at the crimes committed by Hitler and saying, "We're cool, we're just gonna stay neutral." But this time with Vladimir Putin, he's gone too far. Even neutral Switzerland has to step in. Apple, the world's largest company, has officially cut off Russia from all product sales. Most companies based out of Europe or America are taking unilateral action to economically hurt or disrupt Russia's economy until, once again, they pull out of Ukraine. But this is crazy, guys. Visa and Mastercard has blocked Russian banks from using their networks and transactions. So you can go online right now and see these pictures of long lines at Russian ATMs as bank runs are beginning. If you can't use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, or Mastercard, then what the heck are you using to get around in your country? The only way that people can get on the metro in Moscow right now is with physical cash. None of their digital payment options currently work. And there's not enough physical cash printed in existence for everyone in Russia to go about their daily life doing transactions just in cash. And I'm sure in response to the global pandemic and COVID-19, Russia pushed for everyone to stop using paper money, to switch to digital forms of payments like Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, and Mastercard. So no one living in Russia, unless they live in a very small town and they're completely self-sustained, but everyone living in St. Petersburg or Moscow can no longer ignore what's happening. The financial gears of their entire economy have grinded to a halt. Additionally, for fun, here is the share price of Russia's largest bank, SureBank. You can look at their equity, so their share price as of February 15th, and in response to being cut off from the SWIFT network and Europe and America's central banks, the share price of this company is down 92%, guys. This bank is going to fail. All the shareholder equity will be wiped out. I know in America we have bank accounts that are FDIC insured by the government, but I don't think Russia has a similar program in which they can guarantee the deposits of the customers of these banks. So all of the oligarchs in Russia right now are finding ways of getting their money out of the country, getting their money out of the economy, because they know that if they don't do it now, it's just going to be worth less tomorrow and the day after that, as hyperinflation is guaranteed to take effect over Russia. Finally, once again, the only way to stop this war is for pictures and images and stories of the Ukrainian people to get across the border to reach the Russian people. Now, the Russian government controls all television, so for people that get their news and information from TV, they're pretty much brainwashed. But Ukrainians with family and friends are sharing directly. As long as cell phone coverage in the country still works, they can directly send pictures and videos and tell their stories. They have to reach the Russian people through the layers and layers of, basically Stalinist level propaganda. Here's an article about children, guys. Police in Russia have arrested 5 children between the ages of 7 and 11 for protesting against the Ukraine war. So once again, shared on social media. Here are the kids trying to protest. This is Russian for no war. And Russian police, arrested them and put them in jail. At what point are the Russian people going to hit a critical mass and say no to their authoritarian government and demand a better quality of life for their own children, but especially the Ukrainian people? Okay, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up so the algorithm knows it's good. Really helps out with the algorithm on these platforms. If you have any comments or questions, let me know down below. I really appreciate hearing from you guys. Till the next video, stay safe, take care.